Do you like basketball? Basketball, no. I like, but I'm not good at. Yes, I'm not.
Me too.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to an emergency edition of
Emergency!
I mean, genuinely, this is the craziest shit I've ever like. I was just explaining to my girlfriend, who I woke up on the couch. It's 12:46 Eastern time in the morning. Everybody, Luka Doncic has been traded from the Dallas Mavericks to the Los Angeles Lakers. I was telling my girlfriend, I woke her up, said, "Fucking move! I gotta record the pod." When Kevin Durant got traded at like 4 a.m. In the middle of the night a few years back, when he got traded to the Suns, I felt probably like 30% of what I feel right now, just in terms of like, this is the scale of this is just so much crazier. This is like, it's really hard to put into terms how shocking this is.
This is a disaster. Like, if this is true, and which when we're recording this, it seems it's true. It seems it's been confirmed by everybody.
We've been waiting for the Shams hacking report to come out for like 45 minutes.
This is like Giddey. This is like the Giddey trade, where I'm waiting for the picks to come in, and there was just never any reported picks. But yeah, this is the trade for me that is the most unbelievable was the Kawhi trade. When he, or was it a Kawhi trade?
So
it was
the
a Paul George
trade.
Yeah, the Paul George trade. And I had to pull over. I was in such disbelief. But this is so much worse. If I have to stop saying if, because it's confirmed by everybody.
Yeah.
This needs to be investigated. This is malpractice. This needs to be Adam Silver seizing the team from Luka Doncic did not request trade.
He didn't request one?
So the trade, everybody, is Luka Doncic, Maxi Kleber, and Markieff Morris to the Lakers for Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and a 2029 first-round pick. And it was a three-team deal that involved Utah. Jalen Hood-Schifino was in there. I forget what else. So they traded Luka Doncic, one of the best players in the world, consensus best players in the world. They traded him essentially for Anthony Davis, who's older, who's just as injury-prone as he is, who's 31, who's a far worse player. It just, in no world should this be allowed to happen. This should be vetoed. This is unbelievable. I feel like the IDF has something to do with it, I swear, because of Miriam Adelson. I can't handle this.
Way you keep saying this should be vetoed, it fucking kills me. I don't even know why it's so funny, but it's just like, I mean, this is insane. Okay, so Anthony Davis is going to be 32 years old in a month and a half. He has not played more than 60 games so over the past 4 seasons, he's played more than 60 games one time. And he's widely regarded as like one of the most up and down stars in the league, on like the absolute apex of his value. He's really good. Anthony Davis is a really good player. It's just that Luka Doncic is one of those guys that people talk about in like stupid, hypothetical, ridiculous trades, which this is. Like, this is a trade that if you had told me about, I would have been like, you're a fucking idiot. Let's move on to the next team. Luka is one of those guys that, like, okay, well, if Giannis or Jokic is available, maybe you pick up the phone and think about it. And that's it. That's the list. If Shea is available, you're probably not. Like, you're cool with Luka. You're not rolling the dice. If Tatum or whatever, like, ridiculous, nobody else on the list is getting moved for Luka Doncic. Just one of the absolute, like, just the floor that he gives your team is so insane, and they just made the finals.
This is one of the greatest offensive players in the history of the game in his prime. Brian Windhorst is on ESPN freaking out right now. It's saying they didn't even get both first-round picks from the Lakers. They didn't get Austin Reeves. They didn't get anything. They didn't get anything. And so the Tim McMahon, who's plugged into Dallas, is reporting. He tweeted The Mavs had major concerns about moving forward with Luka due to his constant conditioning issues and looming commitment of another Supermax contract extension this summer. That's all fine and good. This is not a deal you make if you're considering trading him. You can get so much more. You could get 1 million picks from OKC. You could get a bunch of young players from anybody else. You can go out and do crazy stuff. This deal actively makes you worse in the short term and the long term.
I mean, it's just like this is a trade that will haunt Dallas basketball for 15 years, really. Like, I mean, so the way I've been internally coping with this since learning the news, I told you this on the phone call before we recorded, is like or really the big thing is like maybe Luka demanded a trade to LA and
he did not. We have learned.
Yeah. So that's not true. That's out the window. So this timeline where like they just kept it really tightly under wraps that he demanded a trade and we just didn't get any word of it, and and even if that was the case, this is still not enough. Even if LA was the only team on the table, this is not enough. And so that's not true. And the other thing was that maybe his medicals, maybe he has fucking like Ebola or something. Maybe he has like broken knee syndrome. Maybe he's Chris Middleton, 3 broken ankles or something. I don't know. That's not the case either. There's nothing coming out that's like just terrifying fucking doctor's reports or something all this season. So the phrasing there that like they're upset about his conditioning or whatever, yeah, cool. Be upset. You just nuked your franchise. You just they will not. They're not going to win a conference finals series with this team. If they make the conference finals with this team,
what picks have they given up going forward? They've kind of cleared their cupboards, right? Let me pull up fans.
I don't
they
think
went
it's
all in on building around this guy. No.
Okay, picks wise, pull it up. I off the top of my head, so they didn't really have to give up a ton to get Kyrie. Am I right?
Not a ton, but I'm sure they gave up something, right? Like first round pick.
I mean, look. Go ahead and look. And then they probably gave up a little bit to get Gafford. They probably gave up a little bit to get. Although I think Gafford was kind of fleeced. I think Gafford was like second rounders. PJ was probably a first.
But did they already recoup Porzingis picks? Because remember they traded a lot for him back in the day.
I don't know. Pull up FanSpot, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, this is
so we have a quote from the GM, Nico Harrison. This is from Tim McMahon. I believe that defense wins championships.
I'm going to hit this guy in the head with a giant hammer already.
I believe that getting an all-defensive center and an all-NBA player with a defensive mindset gives us a better chance. We're built to win now and in the future. This is a disaster. This has to be coerced. This has to be like the Buss family uncovered. So this has to be Elon Musk. This has to be something.
I mean, Joe Rogan, like, staged, like, they stormed the Capitol. That is the fucking Dallas Mavericks front office or whatever, and they're taking it over. This is, so pretty much everything that you've told me from the Dallas camp is just, like, it's not just complete mismanagement of what is really the most valuable, second, third most valuable asset in basketball is Luka Doncic. But it also seems like it's incredibly fast mismanagement where, like, just put out the call. Just put out, fucking drop the Shams bomb that he's available. Because that alone, I mean...
This happened with Tyrese Halliburton. When they traded Tyrese Halliburton for Sabonis, no one else in the league knew Tyrese Halliburton was available.
And we've gotten a million
reports.
That
was a disaster. That was a complete unmitigated disaster. J.J. Redick even went on his podcast said it's an absolute disaster. This is that times 10.
Yes. This is that with a guy who is one of the best offensive basketball players we've ever seen. One of the best floor raisers we've ever seen. One of the best playoff players we've ever seen. And you're moving him without even giving the trade market, the trade, like the fucking bidding war that we always talk about with every tangentially good player in the NBA. The bidding war for Luka Doncic would be historic, and instead you got one first round. Oh, for 2029. How old is Luka gonna be in 2029?
He will be 29, I think.
Okay. So you are getting one first round pick for the team that you just gave probably what will be like a unanimous top 5 player on the planet and has been like a walking top 5 offense, 50-win team since he was 21 years old. He'll be in the prime of his career, and you got a first round pick that season. Congratulations, guys. I mean, genuinely. And I bet we sound like, to Lakers fans, I'm sure we sound salty. It's not like
they have to know.
Yeah, I'm not really that, like, I'm not even that upset by this, because it's not like the Nuggets or whatever had a chance to really make this move. They didn't have the capital to pull this off, but it's just like I'm full on this from like the perspective of a Mavericks fan, just kind of like trying
This
to
would ruin my life. I would be done.
I would stop watching basketball. I would change teams.
I couldn't handle the Giddey trade. I'm literally boycotting the Bulls because of what's going on.
I have
this
to go
is
check.
so much worse.
I have to go check slightly biased Twitter. Dude,
Oh my God.
I feel so bad for him. Holy fuck. I mean, yeah. Like, he just tweeted 6 minutes ago, what a slap in the face to your fans. Folks, I'm in complete disbelief. I want you to tell my initial reactions to the Mavericks trading Luka fucking Doncic in a win-now trade. No filter, all emotions. I am devastated by this.
Love a win-now trade for a worse player.
Win-now trade for an older, worse player. There's no chance Anthony Davis is the better basketball player in 2 years.
Your team is built around Kyrie Irving, Klay Thompson, and Anthony Davis.
Like, I mean, Jesus Christ. The Klay thing with, like, Luka and Kyrie, like, already it was like, it's the name is Klay Thompson and he's there, but, like, this is just the most completely fucking cooked team I've ever seen.
So they have their pick this year. They have their pick next year.
They're gonna need them. Jesus.
2027, they get to keep it if it's pick number 1 or pick number 2. 3 to 30 goes to Charlotte. So top 2 protected.
Cool.
2028. Guess who? Oh my God! Guess who's here?
Who?
OKC. They own.
Son of a bitch.
They own or OKC because OKC has a pick swap for them. And then 2029, the 2 most favorable of Dallas, Houston, and Phoenix. All right, so now it just becomes super convoluted. 2030, it's their own or San Antonio has a pick swap. So we're getting a Wemby sidekick in 2030, and they have 2031. This genuinely, Adam Silver's got to be on the phone saying this cannot be allowed to happen, because this wouldn't happen if Mark Cuban was here.
I mean, that's the other thing. It's just like, this is very clearly like Mark Cuban. There was that move he did a while ago where he sold his stock and he was like, I'll be around to make decisions.
Still here.
I'm still here. I just have absolutely nothing tying me to this team, and I'll be able to walk away at a moment's notice. And clearly this is the other shoe there. Clearly. Where it's just like, I mean, this is like a bad pod, because I'm so in shock that all I can think is the same shit I'm thinking this entire time. So it's a disaster from the Mavs.
And what do the Lakers do? This is not a surefire contender. You have LeBron and Luka, great on paper. This team is not built to win a championship this year. What do you do? What moves can you make? So I guess everyone on a minimum or whatever is going to want to come play with these guys. But this is the 20th ranked defense that just lost their anchor.
I do genuinely feel like there's a chance they move off LeBron James because I agree with you. Like, what do you do if the pivot here is, Luka's the future and we fucking figure it out after we move off of LeBron James? Then yeah. Which, like, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. I'm being like an insane. Like, that's the thing. Anything's possible now. Anything is possible. The fact
Terry was gambling.
Like, Terry was gambling. Tim Donaghy was fixing games. Tim Duncan's wife wasn't let on the plane in Orlando. They froze the envelope for Patrick Ewing. Anything is possible now because this is so outside of the realm. This is like me seeing a unicorn on the street tomorrow morning and just being like, oh,
It's like I switched verses right now. That they can, not only that this happened, that they get on TV and they talk like it's normal.
Yeah, this is the most insane thing that's really happened since I've been watching basketball, and that's what I mean with, like, so you go back to the Paul George and Kawhi trade essentially for all the Clippers picks and Shea. I just feel, to me, the Kevin Durant one sticks out in my mind because it was so much similar to this, where if you couldn't tell by the towel, I literally just got out of the shower when Pablo had texted me, and you texted me, that's got to be fake. That's a hacker. And I had not seen anything. I was listening to some stupid podcast, and I was like, okay, I'll go check.
And everyone thought he was hacked.
And it's the most clearly hacked thing I've ever seen. Jalen Hood-Schifino going to Utah is greasing the wheels on this fucking deal.
What a nightmare! Just to make my life even more hell. Watch them give him minutes over Bryce.
Oh yeah. I'm really glad. We got to get a Gojo reference in here now, just for Lord Abraxas.
This. Oh, I don't know. Like chapter 236. I'm feeling similar feelings. It's unbelievable. The eyes didn't see this coming. But you know what? That happened. The person who wrote that was flawed, and we knew it. But we didn't have any warning here. We didn't have weekly releases giving us updates about how demented Nico Harrison. How long has Nico Harrison been the GM? A long time, no?
I'm not sure on that exactly, but it's entirely possible that at this point it recontextualizes everything about the Mavericks' tenure the entire time he's been there, because it's just like, even if he has been around a long time, clearly Mark Cuban was like cracking
2021, June 28th, 2021.
Okay, so he pulls off the
Kyrie trade.
He pulls, which is like clearly in retrospect an accidental miracle that he completely fell into his lap. Where
you traded for a great player who's psychotic and has been non-psychotic on your team.
Yeah. Well, like, because the way I felt about, so since 2021, I suppose, because I've always felt like for a normal team under normal circumstances, letting Jalen Brunson walk for nothing is it's a move that destroys your roster. It's a move that, like, Luka looks at and demands out, or is very verbally upset with in the media or whatever. And the only reason that move didn't really fuck up the Mavericks is because Kyrie Irving did all of that shit and got traded for Royce O'Neal. So, with the benefit of hindsight, with the benefit of this trade and this insane, asinine justification, the win now trade, sending out Luka Doncic, with that hindsight, clearly, clearly this is a schizophrenic person running a basketball team.
This is a person who needs to be taken behind the shed and put down. The Mavericks. So this is from Shams 28 minutes ago. The Mavericks approached the Lakers recently and offered Luka Doncic, sources tell ESPN. Lakers brass met and believed the 25-year-old Doncic had the ability to be the face of the franchise for the next decade, while giving Anthony Davis a win-now move in Dallas.
Hey,
so let's have a meeting right now, me and you, okay?
Okay.
So, would you like $1 billion, and in return I get your car?
I don't know. I have a 2021 Chevy Malibu.
Okay, all right, $2 billion for your car. Do you believe that could be a
Yeah,
good
no,
move
$2
for you
billion,
going forward?
$2 billion for my 2021 Chevy Malibu would change my life for sure.
Okay, I'm all right. I'm gonna go home, and I'm gonna look around to see if maybe I could get better stuff for my $2 billion.
Yeah.
But actually, no, I'm good.
Yeah,
Let's,
no.
yeah.
Because if you
let's
walk
pull the
away
trigger.
from this, the Malibu's off the table.
Oh all right, we're good.
Well,
We're good.
Okay, Malibu, and there is a Five Guys gift card in there. $45 to Five Guys Burgers and Fries in the console for you.
Okay, Steele. Let's get this in writing. Let's get some writing that says we have to take poison pills if we don't
Okay.
get this done right now.
Okay. I mean, genuinely, this is like a guy getting fired from his job and then being approached by someone being like, "Hey, you want to beat the shit out of me with hammers and I'll give you $500,000?" Like, like, this is just so fucking crazy, dude. This is so insane. Hey, shout out to Molly M. We just got a Canadian member, a Canuck, on the Patreon. So I'm sorry if I just doxed you. Also, because someone did, we got a patron that was like, "Hey, don't read my name, please." And I don't remember who they were, so I'll probably do it in the future. I'm sorry.
Is this Patreon only or is this public?
No, this bitch is going public. I haven't even. I'm gonna put out a Patreon post after we record this that like the Patreon's going up late because I haven't even edited it yet. I was gonna get out of the shower. I went to that party tonight and it was fun. It was a good time.
You'll never remember that. Well, maybe actually maybe you will because you'll be like, "Where were you the night Luka got traded?" Oh,
well,
I just gotten home from that party.
I'm glad I wasn't there because nobody else there even remotely cared about basketball. Like it was.
Oh,
I heard,
like when I broke the Julius Randle trade in the Walmart bathroom.
Yes, yeah, exactly like that. And so
that was a shocker. That was another irrational shocker too.
Yeah, I mean. And yeah, so like I heard the phrase "sports ball" thrown around at the party. So I was like, yeah, we don't need to get too far into what's going on in my line of work.
What's a Luka Doncic?
Yeah, dude. So yeah, if I had been there, I mean, it genuinely would have looked like I took like the meth pills that were handed out to like Nazi soldiers in World War II. I would have been sitting in the corner fucking dissociating, just like trying to figure it out.
What was the theme of the party? You guys were doing something, right?
It was a hear me out party. So everybody, I didn't do it, but most of the
I
people
wouldn't be
there.
able to focus on it, and because imagine someone at the party was like, "Hear me out, Anthony Davis for Luka Doncic." You'd be like, "No."
I'd throw something at them.
Genuinely.
That's really what I keep coming back to. Is like this is a trade that, like, this is the kind of trade you see drawn up on Fanspo by a username, Go Purple and Gold 420 or something. By Flea throws this out there on Bill Simmons' pod or something.
This is my my dad's cousin, who I very rarely see, come to the family birthday party, and he knows I'm into basketball, so he's trying to make conversation with me.
Yeah.
He's like, "It's Kevin Durant. I'd like the Bulls to get that guy." real true story.
Yeah, it's exactly like that. It's just the kind of thing you hear, and it's not even noise because it's so stupid.
They wouldn't say this on Player's Choice. Ticket would not even throw this out.
Like Chill would kill somebody if they said this.
Oh my God! Has he posted anything?
Yo, we gotta see if Chill's okay,
oh,
dude.
My God.
Oh, that is like.
I wonder if he's asleep. Is he?
No. I mean,
he did post something.
Absolutely, let's do it. I'm gonna get out the way. I'm gonna let you take over.
We're just pirating his shit. Everyone
We're gonna
go
give
follow.
commentary after.
Go follow Chilltown on
Talk
TikTok,
about making
everybody.
big time moves. First of all, let's start the conversation with they ain't comfortable paying Luka the Supermax. Luka was set to make $345 million on his next deal. He's no longer eligible for the Supermax.
How much does Jaylen Brown make, by the way?
60 a year. So.
Okay. So like he probably makes 300 mil, 345.
Tatum makes a tiny bit more. I think Edwards is going to make a tiny bit more.
I mean, okay, sorry. Keep playing. Keep playing.
The Lakers are building this unit around Luka.
Nah.
That's number 2. There's no way Luka would request to be traded and leave money on the table. That much money on the table. Number 3, the Dallas Mavericks are more comfortable paying Anthony Davis over the next 3 years because he's 31 years old right now. He's got $171 million. I'm sorry, $174 million left on his deal. He's got $174 million left on his deal. They feel more comfortable paying him that than Luka, 5 years at $345 million, with the reputation that Luka has. And on top of that, we got a 3-year window where we're trying to win it. Because it gets tricky with all big men when they get up to their mid-30s.
It's tricky now.
It's been tricky for 3 years.
In the 3-year window. On top of that, everybody gets what they want. This is a win-win.
No, it's.
This is a win-win. The Lakers get their franchise player for the future, which is Luka. They're going to build it around him.
He is a big Anthony Davis guy, now that I think about it.
That he wants to play with. Hello, Derek Lively. And now he gets to move back to the 4. Talk about a blockbuster deal. This is what I'm talking about right here. This is action.
No. Guys, he doesn't have internet. Don't go too hard on Chill, man. Yo, anybody who says this is a win-win trade, it's just. It makes me fundamentally question how you perceive basketball. What's with the hands on the head stuff? Come on, talk to me, man.
He can't say that. He can't think this. No. I can't handle that. I can't handle it happening, and I can't handle someone like him having this opinion.
He's a big Anthony Davis guy, now that I'm thinking about it. Like, he's the kind of guy who, like, Anthony Davis, 55 points against the Wizards, would come out and be like, I don't know how far off Anthony Davis is from Giannis or Jokic, you know? And so, I mean...
I'm sorry. I don't know how to handle this. I don't know. I'm not built for this. I'm not built for this.
Like, I mean, we're not built to be breaking news people. If I was on ESPN right now, I'd be throwing up. I'd just be like, it doesn't make any sense.
I'd be fired. I'd be saying, get the guns to Miriam Adelson. Get her and waterboard her right now. Ask her how she let this happen.
I mean...
It can't be disconnected that Elon Musk's people... they got access to the treasury, by the way. They got it today. There's some link. I don't know what it is. Something is happening.
No, they were in the private files treasury room fucking shit up. They were sending private emails from Mark Cuban's personal account to JJ Redick.
Does the Trump administration think he still owns it and they're messing with it?
Like, I mean, Donald Trump has access to Shams Charania's Twitter account right now. He's tweeting out bullshit left and right. That's all this is.
Shams was born in another country and raised here. Maybe he was a DACA kid, and it's the only way to keep his citizenship. I don't know.
God, I mean, yeah, like this is. It's just so crazy. It's so crazy. And it is truly the kind of trade that, like, just completely looms over a franchise. Luka Doncic, do you remember how, like, serendipitous it felt when the Mavs got Luka and everything? And it was like, okay, they didn't have number 1 overall. There was still like the cloud of like Darko Milicic hanging over fucking Euro lottery picks. Like, it was super weird. And clearly in retrospect, for an MVP at 17 years old, all this shit, he really should have been taken at number 1. But the Mavs, you know, they were on the downside of Dirk's career. It was like Dirk's farewell honorary All-Star season, all that bullshit. And they get this Luka guy at 3, and it's just like, it's perfect. It's immediately perfect. He's immediately a generational young player. Like,
arguably the best rookie ever before
Wemby. And I mean, Really, like every step since. The only reason.
Yeah, and they've done the Ben Taylor at the Thinking Basketball podcast. They did an episode where they went through and tried to determine the best player ever at every age. And Luka, at that point, I think he was up to 23. He had an argument for every single age.
I believe it. Yeah, and so every single step of the way. The only reason we even remotely like this is already insane. It should be crazier. But we are so used to Luka just being 30, 10, and 10 on 62% true shooting. We're so fucking numb to all of this shit, to how good he really is, that it's like, even this, it's not enough of a reaction. Like, this is our fucking sedated reaction, because Luka is better than a lot of people think right now.
Word is new Mavs forward Anthony Davis is good with going to Dallas and has a solid relationship with the team president Nico Harrison dating back to the latter's Nike days. Now Davis also has centers to play next to him in Dallas. So
what a fucking disaster, dude. If I'm a Dallas fan, like, I'm so disgusted with the organization.
It should not be allowed. This should, like, spark revolution. This should be.
I mean, genuinely, like, Ted Cruz should be seeing this and should be, like, preparing militias to quell riots.
There should be Molotov cocktails going at the American Airline Center right now.
Is that what the?
Let me check Mark Cuban's Blue Sky, because he's active on Blue Sky, you know.
Yo, it's so crazy that this happened, dude. And that's why I keep
he's
coming.
Not said anything.
I mean, I bet his ass is asleep, man. This is, bless you. The win now trade to fucking send out Luka Doncic. Oh my God.
DeAndre Ayton had a great game tonight.
Yo, they did. They've been winning. The Blazers have been frisky. Oh, the Hornets almost came back on the Nuggets. I was at the party, and that was my big worry, is the Nuggets were up like 20 on Charlotte, and every time I checked, it kept getting less.
I'm so mad. I'm so mad seeing these tweets. The Lakers will always make sure they have a showstopper on their roster, and after LeBron James departs or retires, they have their next one in Luka Doncic. I don't need the analysis on why it's good for the Lakers. We know. This is, oh my God. This is an analysis of our deal. Well,
okay.
Jack won't worry about his rent at all for a while after getting these $2 billion.
And it turns out that the car Pablo bought, somebody actually took diarrhea all over the engine sometimes. Like once every 4 or 5 games, there's diarrhea all over the engine. It's
you gotta think, like, even if you're a fan of another team, like Orlando's, like, come on, no, why couldn't you call us up or anyone? Detroit?
Well, it's also such a specific brand of player that a stupid person has to be like, he's got pedigree, he's good, and he's got the pedigree, he's got the championship experience and all that. It's like a very specific niche of guy who checks all the boxes and positionally fits their needs, where, like, or Dallas wouldn't take Paolo for him or anything, or like Franz or whatever.
If they need defense, we got to win this year.
Yeah, who would Isaac.
Who would they go? So if they called up the Grizzlies, would you accept it? I don't know if I would accept that if I'm not. Well, I don't know. It feels ridiculous to say that, but like for Jaren Jackson, like that's that trade.
It does. I mean, I'm doing it because you just math.
You can't say no to Luka.
No, you win. Like, it's up. And, like, I mean, this is clearly just the phrasing of, like, we're upset with his conditioning. Dude,
you think Pat Riley knew about this? He's, no, take Bam! Take Bam!
I mean, Pat Riley is losing his mind on South Beach right now. He's just straight up. He's chain smoking cigarettes.
He might die tonight.
Throwing knives at a picture of, like, Tyler Hero, being like, God damn it, I would have moved you in a second. I would have done it. And so, yeah, It's just so shocking. I'm so fucking wired right now. Like this is. I was gonna go to sleep, and now I don't even know. What are you thinking?
So the Luka Doncic has a player option in 2026. The Lakers, like many other teams, were in a position to have maximum cap space to sign him outright in 2026. It feels like the Mavericks acted early and took what they could. I hate this.
Yeah.
Is like this.
It
is
feels like there was a gun, and the Mavericks maybe like jumped over it or something.
This is like how CNN reports on like Palestine. This
Yes,
is unreal.
exactly.
Like pretending it's rational.
Mhm.
Well, the IDF, they sent in a nuke because they felt threatened by they felt like Hamas was in the basement of the hospital, so that's
Mhm.
why they did it.
Yeah, it's just this language where it's like really I mean, again, the story here is that a complete fucking moron made one of the most ill-advised decisions in the history of basketball, in the history of the NBA.
In the history of sports, it's gotta be.
And I hate that because the Copers, I'm sure there will be like, will there be a flash in the pan for the Cope people ever? Because like what does success even look like here? Are you winning a title with this Mavs team? Are you making the conference finals with this Mavs team? You are so like you're so reliant on Klay Thompson still.
It's a pretty good team, I guess.
It's fine.
Kyrie, Clay, Najee,
Okay.
AD, Lively.
Gafford, Omax, Dante Exum. It's just like
The Mavericks, they saw something in Omax in Washington. They knew.
I mean, yeah, just like, just this. It's so rare, and it's not that the Mavs were like taking it for granted with Luka, because they were really. I do feel like they were trying hard to like put a competitive team around him. They weren't taking it for granted. It's just
this is a team that's played great when healthy this year.
Yes,
health is the only
coming off
obstacle.
a finals appearance where their best player was clearly hurt.
And you lost to a team that was clearly more talented.
One of the best teams of all time.
There was no disappointment. You traded that for a guy who's no guarantee to be healthy. Less of a guarantee, maybe.
I mean, again. Let me. Okay, Anthony Davis, game logs. Let me pull this bitch up real quick. So this year he is at 42 games, 42 of a possible 45. 40.
Hey, Kawhi and Paul George played 70 last year.
Yeah. Last year he hits 76. This year 56, or the year before that 56. The year before that 40. The year before that 36. And so he will be again on the wrong side of 32 years old by the middle of March. And you have to think on this, like, this is a roster that, yes, they were good without Luka this year. They found plenty of success without Luka Doncic, even though the power of friendship fell off lately or whatever, and they really struggled to beat some bad teams. But the recipe was like, Luka is the engine. Luka drives everything. What is that now? Is it Kyrie,
I guess.
Kyrie AD pick and rolls?
I guess so.
I mean, is Kyrie like, is he a pick and roll operator like that? Like, he's good. He could throw a lob. He's really solid, but you know.
Famously, Kyrie, amazing number one option. I mean, I sure want to see that.
Yeah.
I sure want to do that instead of Luka. I mean, why wouldn't you trade Kyrie for AD? I mean, the Lakers wouldn't accept it, but like that's a closer talent. That's a more rational trade than what I'm seeing right now.
Yes.
Like someone posted in the Reddit, this has to be collusion, right? I agree. This can't. I need an investigation into
I
this.
do. I need a documentary about this like 2 weeks from now. I need behind the scenes access to everything.
Nico Harrison is in severe gambling debt or something.
I need access to the files. I need you to leave the room for a minute while I get access to all the files. That's what I can't. There's no other way.
Is there a bomb in Luka's chest that's programmed to go off in a? But even if there were, this wouldn't make sense. because they would have made him publicly available, had a bidding war, drove the price up.
Mhm.
I mean,
that's really what it is.
what would the Kings give up to?
They would like Vivek.
I guess they don't have
they
don't have a strong defensive anchor to help the Mavericks win the championship this year.
I guess, but like, I mean, every team in the league would give up every single thing they possibly could to add Luka Doncic, and the Lakers didn't have to. They have the 2031 first still. I think that there's a chance they're still active over the next few days, leading up to the trade deadline.
His constant conditioning issues gave Dallas major concerns amid looming Supermax extension. I mean, what hey Pelicans, trade Zion for Gafford. No,
It's not even remotely. That's like it's like if we had seen. It's like if Zion. We had 7 years of Zion being one of the 4 best players on the planet for entire regular seasons, for entire playoff runs, going up against the best defenders at his position, incredibly accomplished teams that were winning 60 games. He's fucking nuking them. Yeah, like it's on. I'm at a loss for words, really. Like, no other trade I've been around for, in terms of shockingness, comes close to this.
I'm trying to think of like what else is who could they've gotten? Like, you could have called up and asked about Tatum. I don't know if they would do it, but
you could though. You could, and they would listen. That's not a phone call that Boston fucking hangs up on at all. Yeah, I mean, everyone would listen. Literally, unless you're Denver or Milwaukee, everybody, like the Thunder would listen for Shea. They would not do it, I don't think, but they would hear the package out and everything.
You could get Bam and Jimmy.
If you could get Bam and Jimmy, you could get probably J-Dub and Chet.
I don't know about that.
Okay, that's fine. We're finding
but
the ceiling.
But you could get almost all the first round picks they have, I'm sure, and you could just become the new Oklahoma City Thunder.
That's what I'm saying. Is like, yeah, it's just like, and I keep coming back to the other trades that we've talked about, the Paul George trade, the Kevin Durant trade, whatever trade you want to bring up. The thing with those is pretty much the second they happened, even though it was surprising, even though I didn't see it coming, was able to put the puzzle pieces together and then like correct everything with my worldview and be like, okay, that makes sense. You know, Brooklyn's.
So the most recent trade I think that might compare in like inexplicability is the Pau Gasol trade. Do you remember what that was? I have it pulled up.
I remember. Yeah, just read it. Just read it.
So it was Pau and a second-round pick for Marc Gasol, Kwame Brown, Jarvis Crittenton. I thought it was Javaris. It is. Javaris.
I thought, yeah, it is.
It is Javaris. They miswrote it. Aaron McKee and 2 first-round picks. And people will say, well, Marc Gasol was a second-round pick that nobody had expectations for. He was just a throw-in.
Mm-hmm.
And that drove people nuts. This is worse.
I mean, this is worse because it's not an all-star. It's not an all-NBA player. It's one of the 5, 4, 3 best basketball players on the planet. Like, if you took the aggregate.
In his prime.
At the beginning of his prime. Like, not even, we do this shit because he's been around for so long. But, like, how old is he right now? 27?
25, I think.
Dude, you have got to be fucking kidding me. 25, he turns 26 in 26 days. Exactly. So, oh my God, 26 years old for 32-year-old Anthony Davis, essentially, and 1 first-round pick. Yeah, if I was a Dallas fan, I'd be disgusted with this. I would not be able to sleep. I wouldn't be able to eat. I would stop supporting the basketball team. And there's no way, unless they literally win the title like this year, there's no way anybody feels good for 18 months.
So we're about to get the Luka slander reports, the like Luka kiss of death, from all the Dallas reporters. Tim McMahon reporting that Luka was pushing 270.
I don't care. I don't care. There's no number. There's nothing.
He could lose weight.
We have seen him. It's not a concept. It's not the idea of Zion figuring it out for 70 games and a playoff run, and then maybe he's good in the playoffs or whatever. We have seen everything. We have seen everything that you would ask of any player at any level outside of literally winning a title. And so there is no, unless it comes out that he has one leg, and he's been playing with like a robotic leg the entire time or something, there is no report that fucking comes out and I'm like, oh man, this works. This squares everything for me. This will never make sense.
It's absolutely psychotic. And so the conspiracies are going to run wild. People are going to say Lakers, everything's rigged for the Lakers. It's a rigged sport. And I don't, honestly, I don't know how I don't blame them, but and they're what is funny is they're never gonna connect it back to Miriam Adelson and the idea of they'll find a way to connect it to Hillary Clinton or Cuban or something. But yeah, I'm upset because genuinely I don't want to see this. I don't want Luka on the Lakers. I don't.
I'm not that upset about that angle. Like I don't the Lakers. It's just a truth that I've come to accept. That just shit. Dominoes fall this way for the Lakers. It is what it is. And
so LeBron didn't know about this trade. I don't know if we know if Luka knew. If he has a player option, like, are we 100% sure he's going to stay? Maybe he'll stay just by virtue being in L.A., but he's also Slovenian, so we know they don't care as much about that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I wonder if he'd like to play with one of his friends.
Hey, why didn't you call up and offer Aaron Gordon?
Dude, I was calling everybody. I mean, I was in the shower. I opened my phone. You know, one text from Pablo. This has to be a joke. 5 missed calls from Miriam Adelson. I was like, fuck, dude. Yeah, no. Like, if he walks, he walks. I don't know if that'll happen. I think if I had to put money on it, the glitz, the glamour, it rocks to play in LA. It's sick. That's why people do it. It's great. And I think they'll be well equipped to move forward, depending on whether or not they do move off of LeBron James. I'm just extremely curious about his reaction to all of this. Where it's just, I'm trying to think of a good like anime comp for it, where, like, I don't know, it's the most powerful, not the most powerful entity in the world anymore, but just like. You massively shook up everything in a way that, like, probably not super dope with him. Like, it's not a guy that, like, he goes hand in hand with play style wise, and maybe he's happy. I don't know, because he doesn't have to carry as big of an offensive load. But yeah, to me,
I mean, they'll be nasty together offensively, but
yeah.
this team is going to be a nightmare on defense. What is JJ gonna do? Is he gonna get fired? Is he gonna get fired and blamed?
Yeah, the scapegoating is. I hope he does. I hope we get old man in the 3. I hope we get old man in the 3 back in 8 months.
Ooh,
that's what I hope, dude. I mean, really.
That was the play all along. Miriam Adelson was a huge
old man in the 3. She's like, the Trey Murphy, the young man in the 3 stuff doesn't do it for me. I love Trey, but I need JJ back. I mean, genuinely, that has affected my life way more than anything related to the Lakers, is the loss of the old man in the 3 pod.
Yeah, honestly.
I do. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm really just I'm excited for the fallout of all of this. It's just we we were so focused on the Bradley Beals and the Jimmy Butlers. Really, the domino was like Bradley Beal no trade clause. Will something happen or does nothing ever happen? And this just complete blindside from the opposite direction. And they didn't shop him around. It's just so shocking. It's just so shocking to not do that. To just accept Anthony Davis and be on your way.
So Kyle Van Noy, who is an NFL player, replied to a tweet about the Luka trade and said, "Find out who was recently hired by the Mavericks and his track records of digging his tentacles into places, and this is not shocking at all. I know who it is." Three eyes emojis. So I don't know what that is about. I don't know if that's anything. Oh yeah, and another one of the most insane parts of this deal. The Jazz are a part of it. Danny
Yes,
Ainge.
he's in the background.
Danny Ainge was in on this. How does he not be like, here's Walker Kessler, here's Lauri Markkanen, here's a bunch of picks, here's a Queen's Gambit for Luka.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's absolutely nuts as well. But I guess this demented Nico Harrison, he's like, I'm an Anthony Davis stan. He's my alt bias, and I would rather die than not get Anthony Davis.
Okay, so I googled. First of all, I agree that I think that goes back to what I was saying about Anthony Davis existing in this green zone, the Goldilocks zone of championship pedigree guys. Where it's like Walker Kessler and Lauri Markkanen. What have I seen them do in the playoffs? I've seen Anthony Davis literally fucking win a title. Come on. So I googled Dallas Mavericks recent hire, and the thing that comes up is Rick Welts as their new CEO. Mavericks CEO hire makes Adelson's arena ambitions clear. The legendary Rick Welts had retired from a Hall of Fame career and had nothing left to prove in basketball, but the opportunity in Dallas proved irresistible. This is by Eric Fisher. So I guess Miriam Adelson, she's the CEO, right?
She's the new owner.
Okay. The Mavericks now led by Governor Patrick Dumont following a deal a year ago with Mark Cuban to buy a controlling interest in the team, brought Welts out of more than 3 years of retirement to lead both team operations and the efforts to develop a new arena and casino complex. Okay, so apparently this guy, Rick Welts, he was in basketball. He was like a basketball guy, not a player, but he was a COO of the Warriors, and he was all over the place for nearly 50 years, and then he retired. So I wonder. I want to do some more digging on this guy to see what the tentacles mean.
So someone commented, and some people are saying like Kyle Van Noy is stupid or whatever. He might be a crazy right winger. I don't know. But this person said, just so everyone knows, there are new majority owners now, and this move took them from $5 million into the luxury tax to now about $600K below the luxury tax. Got an inkling the new owners might be stingy fucks and told the GM to get the payroll under the apron. So that is a possibility that the new owners are profit maxing. It couldn't matter less to them to compete. They said, which other star player would bring us below the luxury tax or whatever? We need to save money. They went out, they discovered it, and they made the deal. That's a possibility. Just ultimate Jerry Reinsdorf mentality.
Which famously, sports teams, franchises do not massively increase in value year over year. So you're not, even though you're losing money in the short term, you're definitely not gaining. In like 5 years, you won't be up $150 million or something. It's just not how it works. So, yeah, $600K under the luxury tax, like one mid-level executive salary under the luxury tax. Yeah, knock yourself the fuck out.
If this angle is true, Adam Silver's got to do something. You can't have these people like Jerry Reinsdorf and others. you can't have them sitting on these assets and not caring about the competitiveness at all. This you can't throw away these. You can't. Is Dallas the fourth biggest market? Is it behind?
So what do you have? L.A., New York, Chicago, and then it'd be
Yeah.
Dallas. NBA market.
NBA biggest TV
sizes. NBA market sizes. Let me see this shit. I tweeted out a while ago. Sorry. I tweeted out, this feels like when the alarms went off in Hawaii that missiles were gonna hit.
Yeah.
And someone commented and said, "I am not kidding at all when I say I was in Hawaii that day, and this is weirder."
So they're fifth, right behind Philly.
Okay. Yeah. It just. I mean, it's one thing to be stupid, but if the stupidity is driven by cheapness and profit maxing, it takes this to like a new level of I hate this move. I personally hate the people making the decisions behind this move. If it's one thing to be stupid, you're stupid and you wound up in an important place. But if you're stupid and you looked at fucking charts and they led you to trading Luka Doncic, I hate you.
Please let me be in charge of the Mavericks. Please put me in charge of any NBA team. I believe wholeheartedly I'm more capable than anyone. Not by the virtue of my talents, by the virtue of their what's the opposite of talent?
Failures, shortcomings, I don't know.
Their shortcomings. They have severe character flaws and mental flaws and ability flaws and what a disaster. What a disaster. All right.
Man.
Well, I think we
I mean,
It's
we just
probably fine.
fucking soy jacked for an hour.
yeah, well, oh my god.
I just wanted to complain, really. I mean,
Yeah.
I love news. Things happened.
I
and so,
love
like,
good news.
To me, this is not good or bad news. I'm not.
I'm pissed. I'm pissed.
It's just I'm upset for Mavericks fans, really, is the long and short of it. Because, like I said, I've accepted that, the Lakers could punch their best player in the face with, like, the Infinity Gauntlet every day, every day for the entire season, and, good things would still happen to them. They could go out front of Staples Center just fucking launching puppies out of a t-shirt cannon. Good things would still happen to them. That's the reality of the situation. But for Mavericks fans, just a once in a not a once, you got Dirk. So, like, if you're once in a lifetime, but it's an era defining player, definitely. It will be one of the guys who you will not be able to tell the story of, like, 2020's basketball without him. And you got fucking.
You got to be worried now. You got to think, because this could be a situation. First, they traded Luka, and I said nothing. And eventually the Cronkies, they'll be like, God, Jokic is expensive.
Do not say that. I'll
get
follow
him outta
Jokic. If unironically, if the Denver Nuggets did something to this degree, I would just change teams. And that's not
trade him for LeBron. LeBron's bigger money.
I
rating.
I have come to love the Nuggets. Like, I care about the Nuggets. I love Christian Brown. I'm devastated that De'Ron Holmes didn't get to play. I love the Nuggets. If they did something like this, I would abandon them. It's a clear disregard for the fans. They come second to everything else, to the money.
It makes me so mad, man. We need some kind of overhaul. These owners have too much power. This is an unmitigated disaster.
Should I just post this? What do you want to do? Just post this 2 a.m?
Yeah, for sure. Emergency.
Okay.
Just make sure the audio's right, and then just get it out.
All right. Hey, patreon.com/State of the League. I wagered that will be up at I'll give it 11 a.m. tomorrow, maybe.
And it's an East episode, so we're not out of date.
Yeah. I mean, compared to the fucking Patreon, this is a nuke, baby. All right. Hey, thank you all for listening. And apparently copyrighted. Pau Gasol, take it away.
Lay down a list of what